Welcome to Arlington Public News. I'm James Milan.
And I'm Carla Dorado. In this edition of Arlington Public News, a local pub gets temporarily shut down by the town due to alcohol violations. Plans are unveiled to make Arlington Center more civic-focused, and summer happenings. There's plenty to do in Arlington. We have the full details coming up.
All that and more up next. Please stay with us.
We begin this newscast with a liquor license suspension and the result of a recent gun buyback program in town.
APN's Zach Merchant has more in our Arlington Snapshot. Zach?
Thanks, James. In local government snapshot this week, a procedural vote gets complicated. After Common Ground Bar and Grill committed its second alcohol service-related offense, Arlington's Board of Selectmen met on Monday, June 20th, to approve a suspension of its liquor license. However, confusion over the initial vote led the selectmen to reopen the issue. The discussion turned on whether to add 3 or 5 days to the initial 14-day suspension of alcohol service.
You know, I just feel 4 of us said here tonight, we believe this is what we voted, and it's in the minutes of the meeting. And it's absolutely unfair for us to add any additional penalties without having now the owner here, the council who is here.
Selectman Kevin Greeley felt that altering Common Ground suspension without any of the bar's representatives present would be unfair. Chairwoman Diane Mahan disagreed, arguing that Common Ground is a frequent offender of Arlington's liquor laws and must be treated as such.
I'd like to make a motion that on the second offense by Common Ground, and we'll be talking about a third soon in my opinion, that for the second offense where it's under our rules and regulations, we can impose 3 to 5 days, that I move we impose a 5-day suspension.
Elsewhere in Arlington, there are now 24 fewer firearms in homes around town. The weapons were turned in by residents during the Arlington Police Department's annual gun buyback on Saturday, June 11th. Arlington was one of several municipalities to take part in the Middlesex County Sheriff's Safer Homes, Safer Communities initiative. The program designed to reduce accidental and self-inflicted gun casualties. 261 firearms have been collected throughout Arlington, Belmont, and Cambridge since the gun buyback began 3 years ago. Weapons collected at Arlington's buyback this year included inherited rifles, unwanted handguns, and realistic-looking BB guns. Arlington Police Chief Fred Ryan was pleased with the buyback's turnout, saying, quote, "Every unwanted firearm removed from the home results in 1 fewer chance at tragedy." Residents who missed the gun buyback can turn in firearms during Somerville's program on June 25th. It will be held at the Department of Public Works from 9 a.m. until 1 in the afternoon. That's your snapshot for this week in Arlington. I'm Zach Merchant. Back to you, James.
The look and functionality of Arlington Center could be changing. Proposals to rework Broadway Plaza and possibly extend Alton Street to Massachusetts Avenue are just a couple of the ideas presented at a recent meeting on the matter. The town received a $2 million grant from the Massachusetts Department of Transportation to figure out ways to make it easier for people to walk and bike in the area and reduce car emissions. APN's Christina Gesford has the story.
I'm Christina Gesford here at the Arlington Senior Center for the second planning meeting discussing the Envision Arlington project. Consultants present their recommendations to the town and provide an opportunity for the general public to give feedback on those conceptual designs. As many as 60 people gathered to get a glimpse of what will potentially be Arlington Center's new look. The project is the second phase of the reconstruction of Massachusetts Avenue, with a focus on various locations along the corridor from Mill Street to Pond Lane. The engineering firm of Van Ace, Hinge & Brustlin used input from the first public forum in April and the walkshop conducted shortly after to develop a preliminary plan that combines a fresh aesthetic with practical elements that will both attract customers and drastically improve mobility. Of the several sites under consideration, Broadway Plaza earned the most attention. The VHB team presented 3 unique alternatives that would make the area more flexible while diverting traffic. 2 concepts would extend Alton Street through to Mass Ave. Some residents were quick to voice concerns about losing parking spaces in front of businesses and about maintaining the park's historical integrity.
Biggest concern that I have, and I think we would have, is to make sure there's a designation between the Veterans Park and any other seating and stuff, so that the Veterans area is still respected.
Because Arlington doesn't have a town common, that's where it was put for maximum exposure. If you surround it with park, you are changing the historical context of that monument.
Attracting new business to the town center was also a focal point. With the growth of the local economy in mind, many promoted different aspects of the renovation that inject a sense of vibrancy into the spaces.
So improving the sidewalks, improving crosswalks, roadways, bike accommodations is really one of the best things we can do to roll out the mat, or the red carpet as you would for businesses. So that's why this is so important.
Let's not just settle for the cheapest street furniture, but street furniture can be easily tweaked to be something beautiful and interesting that draws more people into the center, makes people come, spend more money in the center.
I stopped on a whim at a new cafe today for lunch because it's like, oh, you know what, it's lunchtime, I can stop easily and park here and it's easy to cross the street. If it's welcoming and feels safe, then people will do that.
One of VHB's most significant tasks, though, was to develop bicycle accommodations that would balance the interests of drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists. The team presented 4 schemes that included dedicated bike lanes as well as shared lanes between vehicles and bikes using sharrows.
People were saying, let's have it both ways. Let's not sacrifice the walkway width, but have bicycles in both directions. The only way that could occur is if you got rid of parking.
The whole corridor through Arlington Center really doesn't attract bicyclists by any means to ride there. It's quite busy. There's really no space for cyclists.
VHB representatives were sure to take note of strong sentiments and plan to incorporate those ideas into the finished product.
This community really takes part and shows up. Lack of interest in having the trees pushed back along Mass Ave on the sidewalk that connects Robbins Library and the town hall. We heard that loud and clear.
Residents are encouraged to attend a meeting in September to view the finalized plans. For Arlington Public News, I'm Christina Gesford.
The Arlington Redevelopment Board is revealing a new plan to increase the housing stock in town. The ARB has voted to adopt a plan to provide more low to moderate income housing as part of a state mandate. APN News intern Stephanie Gordon has more from a recent meeting of the ARB.
The Arlington Redevelopment Board met to discuss the housing production plan on Monday, June 6th at the Arlington Town Hall Annex.
The goal of the plan is to help the town understand local housing needs and demands better, influence the type, amount, and also location of housing throughout Arlington, produce low to moderate income housing according to an annual production goal, which is referenced in the goals section of the plan, and then also to work towards the state's mandatory 10% affordable housing target.
There are a few major priorities to update housing in Arlington.
Updated housing, that's to meet demand and to address the older housing stock. More housing to address the low vacancy rate, growing number of households, and increasing demand. Diverse housing for an aging population, a range of household types, and shrinking household size. And lastly, housing at multiple price points.
The meeting also included a request for a special permit for the Springboard School, which is hoping to move to 39 Broadway, despite a few issues that would stand in their way.
We have really 3 significant problems. The first one we had to overcome was the price or the cost. We're overpaying for this property. The second part of our problem is the timing. And so that gives us approximately 1 year to complete everything. It's going to be very difficult to do.
The third issue for this property is there may not be enough parking for both staff who works at the school and parents who are dropping off children. Stephanie Gordon, Arlington Public News.
These last 2 stories highlight what we seem to be talking about every week here at Arlington,
yes.
at APN, which is things are changing in town and so quickly.
I think it's nice that we're trying to address everybody in all of these changes to make sure everybody is comfortable with them, that there are places people to live, places for kids to go to school. I mean,
yeah, it's hard to make these kinds of decisions on the move as we are all the time, so more power to them.
Yes, I think they're doing a pretty good job.
When we come back, local arts and civic groups come together for a show meant to help build acceptance and understanding of the LGBTQ community.
Plus, a local landmark in the center receives a facelift with the help of state funds. That and more next. We'll be right back.
If you live in one of the 22 communities that appear on your screen now, you likely belong to the Mystic River watershed. This vital resource is a natural living system that we all share. Since 1972, the Mystic River Watershed Association has successfully fought to protect and restore this treasure. Now I'm asking you to join that effort. Please go to mysticriver.org to become a member and to find out how you can help today.
Welcome back to Arlington Public News. Several organizations in Arlington are teaming up to promote tolerance in the community through storytelling. True Story Theater is presenting intergenerational stories of growing up queer, telling people's stories through improvisation. The Arlington Human Rights Commission and the Mystic LGBTQ+ Youth Support Network, along with the Arlington Center for the Arts, helped to organize the show. Their intent is to spread knowledge and understanding about the LGBTQ community. For more on this, let's go to APN's Stephanie Gordon.
I'm Stephanie Gordon here at the Arlington Center of the Arts to discuss the upcoming theater production, Intergenerational Stories of Growing Up Queer. True Story Theater, as well as Arlington Human Rights Commission, the Mystic LGBTQ Youth Support Network, and the Arlington Center for the Arts were all involved in creating this production.
When I tell you my story, you find out who I am. You are looking at me, you are hearing my experiences, and suddenly you'll say, wow, she's kind of like me, or she's kind of like my best friend, or my mother, or my sister, or somebody you know in your life, and you realize that we're connected. That's what we need as a human community. That's our only hope.
It's important that people hear each other's stories and see all of us as human beings. The Human Rights Commission felt like it was really timely and important that people in Arlington know more about the experience of queer people and people who identify with other kinds of different gender identities and gender expression.
With the recent tragedy in Orlando, Melissa Nussbaum speaks on the relevance of this production.
I definitely think it's coming at a very important time. I think when things like the massacre at Pulse in Orlando happens, we have to speak up even louder. It's not the time to go into our corners. It's the time to band together and to find our allies.
I expect it's going to be really eye-opening for people to understand how difficult it is, and for people's hearts to be open to other people's experience in the LGBT community.
Intergenerational Stories of Growing Up Queer will premiere June 24th at 7 p.m. at the Arlington Center for the Arts. For Arlington Public News, I'm Stephanie Gordon.
The Jefferson Cutter House in Arlington Center is getting a facelift. The historic house is home to the Cyrus Dallin Museum, which is temporarily closed while exterior work is being done. The project is sponsored by a $65,000 grant from the Massachusetts Historic Commission, as well as funding from the town's Community Development Block Grant. APN reports on the project and the building's significance to the town.
I'm here outside the historic Jefferson Cutter House, where plans are underway to restore and refine much of the house's exterior. I had the opportunity to speak with Jennifer Raitt of the Department of Planning and Community Development about the project.
So the town of Arlington, through my Department of Planning and Community Development, along with the Cyrus Dallin Museum, Heather Lavelle, were instrumental in putting together an application for the Mass Preservation Projects Fund grant of $65,000, which was a matching resource that the town was able to use Community Development Block Grant funds to also put in another $65,000 for the total cost of the project, which ended up being about $130,000, so that we could do the restorations. And so that was a joint effort, and it was started actually because of an architect who helped us with an historical assessment of the property, who helped us to understand more about the preservation needs and issues, and that then led to us scoping the work and securing the funds to make those repairs. The restoration that you're seeing happening behind me is the result of a grant to restore the roof as well as the windows and the siding with new paint, and also some of the doors. So we're able to do some work that allows us to keep within the historical relevance of the building and preserving some of the architectural history, and also protecting the public resource. Why it's important is because we're preserving a critical resource. It also happens to be located right here in Arlington Center, and the town is focused on Arlington Center through other planning initiatives. It's important to maintain and upkeep the property, and as I said, maintain it as a public resource. People can go in here to the Dahlin Museum. People also use the Cutter Gallery, and the Chamber of Commerce is also located upstairs. So we want to be able to make it accessible as well as some place that people understand the historic resource and importance of the property. And it's in the center, so we see it as somewhat a centerpiece of what's happening here with other efforts and improvements.
For Arlington Public News, I'm Michael Lang.
Once every 2 years, Arlington Community Media Inc., or ACMi, hosts a gala to honor the accomplishments of its members, volunteers, and interns. As it rolled out the red carpet and turned Town Hall's classic auditorium into an Academy Awards-worthy space, ACMi had even more to celebrate this year. In addition to 2 more years of outstanding programming created by and for members of the Arlington community, the 2016 awards also marked the 10th anniversary of ACMi itself, and video montages tracing the studio's dramatic growth played periodically through the night. The lavish table settings, the elaborate decorations, including a flying shark, the poignant musical performances, the beaming award winners, it all added up to a night to remember for all in attendance. It was a celebration that truly showcased the diversity, creativity, and devotion to community that makes ACMi a unique contributor to Arlington culture. And of special note, APN's Jared Sweet was awarded for all of his work behind the scenes, editing and helping to produce newscasts just like this one. Congratulations, Jared.
Yes, congratulations, Jared. He does so many lovely things, and it really was a beautiful production.
It's hard to pick your favorite part, right, of the evening in a lot of ways.
Well, the food, the beautiful centerpieces, the company.
Yeah, it was just a great, great evening. There is still much more to come on Arlington Public News.
We have a look at the upcoming summer attractions in Arlington, and we visit the recent Feast of the East, the annual celebration of the community in the East Arlington. Stay with us.
Hey guys.
Oh, hey Studio Night.
Want to do something cool? Make TV with ACMi Studio Nights.
I don't think we have time to make TV.
That sounds hard. You have time to watch TV, but not to make TV?
Well...
Join ACMi Studio Nights to make TV with new friends, Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. and get this tiny flashlight, unless you're scared.
I'm not scared. You know we can still see you, right?
No, you can't.
Pretty sure we still can.
Do you have what it takes to ride with the Studio Nights? Of course you do. Join us next Wednesday.
Welcome back. Well, it's officially summer, and that means lots of outdoor activities from local events to pursuing your own interests. We wanted to know what activities residents are looking forward to in Arlington this summer, so we hit the streets in our You Speak segment to find out.
Hi, I am Kayla Chiara here with Arlington Public News. We are down on Massachusetts Avenue in East Arlington asking local residents what it is that they look forward to during the summertime.
Well, I'm really excited that the Capitol Theater offers a baby matinee for us to partake in, and little babies can come and moms can enjoy and dads too.
Riding my bicycle, that's the Casco Bay Cruiser over there, and going to Spy Pond, going to Woods and Strings, and testing out the musical instruments.
Robbins Park, and coming to Arlington to get some delicious ice cream.
Well, I'm a dog walker, so I enjoy being outdoors overall, and going to some dog parks and taking them on the bike path is always fun.
As you can see, almost everyone is looking forward to catching the newest movies at the Capitol, enjoying fresh air in the park, or just eating delicious ice cream. I'm Kayla Chiara here with Arlington Public News.
What a great variety of ideas from people there. Well, if you are looking for more things to do in Arlington this season, we have a list for you. Here is our special Summer Arts Entertainment Guide.
From now through Sunday, August 21st, the Arlington Recreation Department is pleased to announce the return of canoe, kayak, and paddleboard rentals to Spy Pond. Every Saturday and Sunday, from 12 to 6 p.m., Arlington residents are invited to check out these fun boating equipment for the hourly rates of $10 to $20 on a first-come, first-served basis. The Spray Park at the Thompson School is now open for business through Labor Day. The free seasonal spray pool makes for a great kid-friendly destination throughout the warm summer months, so be sure to stop on by. Once school lets out, the daily hours will be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Reservoir Beach is now open seasonally from mid-June through late August. Come for the beach and stay for the chlorinated swimming area, concession stand, or playground. Day passes are available for $5 per person, as well as a variety of different season passes beginning at $35. The daily hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. A Tuesday evening concert series will also run throughout the months of July and August, beginning each Tuesday at 6 p.m. In the off-season months of May through July, the Ed Burns Arena and Ice Rink is transformed into a rubberized indoor athletic facility, ideal for soccer, floor hockey, basketball, wiffle ball, birthday parties, and any other community event. Availability runs on a first-come, first-served basis.
Graduating seniors in Arlington got a special jump on summer, but not before pausing briefly to reflect on their years of schooling. Graduating ceremonies were held on Saturday, June 4th for Arlington High School seniors. Here's a look at the commencement and words of advice from Principal Matthew Janger.
So today you're completing the first major stage of your education. Congratulations. After roughly 13 years of formal schooling, you're ready to move on. As you leave today, the value of your education will be what you choose to take away. It really doesn't matter whether you found school easy or hard, what college or job you're going to, whether you received awards or detentions. You're here. Happiness comes from inside. What matters is not what you get, but what you make of your experiences. Take the time to think about what a good life is for you, what it means to be a good person, and how you need to grow to be able to be happy. You have a strong base. We're here for you. We're not going anywhere. The community is behind me and behind you. Congratulations. Thank you.
You can turn your tassels to the left side of your cap, most importantly. And we made it. You can throw your caps. Woo!
Special graduation shout out to all the graduates from Arlington Minuteman and Arlington Catholic as well.
Yes, and I did notice a familiar face there in the crowd of seniors,
graduating who could that
seniors.
Be?
Yeah, Jace, our very own. Jay Sundarajan just graduated with the rest of the Arlington High School class. Congratulations, Jay. Thank you for joining us this week as we explore events and issues affecting Arlington. Check out extended interviews and our latest segments on the web at news.acmi.tv.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Arlington Public.
We leave you tonight with highlights from East Arlington's Feast of the East. Enjoy! I'm James Milan.
And I'm Carla Dorado. Thanks for joining us tonight.